a government into power. They have never. Every government that has been in power since independence was not raised to take power by the people. So people have no control, have no say in who takes government or who leaves government. Whoever has left government did not leave because people said so. Whoever has taken the government did not take government because people said so. So people are completely marginalized in as far as the power dynamics are concerned. The regime that is in power today, of which, as Paula here said, I was at the beginning a member of, took power by force. And we said that on this 26th day of January 1986, the National Resistance Army has taken the power of state of Uganda and vested it in the National Resistance Movement. So we captured power by force. Therefore, to talk about opposition, which would mean that the people have elected a government, and those who have not constituted the government who were elected have now formed an opposition to it, is misnomerous. It is misleading. What we have in Uganda, therefore, are people who capture power by force and those who are captured. Those are the two sides, the captors and the captured. So you can ask, what are the views of those who are
captured,
captives? Who are captured? They are not an opposition. That they have a say. Which say, that you see a leader of a party goes to talk on a radio, not even to hold a public rally, to talk on a radio, and the military comes and says, you will not talk from here, get out. And you say you are opposition. Which opposition? You are a captive. So the captives, who are the population? It's the population that has no say, as I have said. Their money is divided amongst the captors the way the captors want. They use it, and in total contempt of what people are saying. You say, what will you say? What will you do?
What can you do?
What can you do? Even the law that governs the country, you can see what they want is what becomes the law. So in that kind of a situation, yes, the captors, and who in every respect facing up to the vagaries of that captivity, must critically think of how to break out of captivity. This situation will not change, will not be. Of course, the captors may change. Even today, some other military man may overthrow the current regime. The nature of the regime does not change. So regimes have been changing, but people have remained in captivity. And that's what we must, all of us, think collectively together to get out of, to get into a situation where we have equal voices as envisaged by the Constitution, that every person has an equal voice in this country, and that therefore we can influence how we share into the opportunities of the country, how we share into the resources, and so on and so forth. So your question of what you call the opposition, I think is one that really needs very urgent attention by all those who are on the receiving side of the captors. Because if we really don't think quickly, organize quickly, and break out of captivity, we shall be decimated, as indeed is happening, you know, which is what we were discussing that happened during the COVID pandemic. You know, people dying needlessly in their homes because they had no food, because they had no evacuation to hospitals and so on. So this is an urgent thing. You know, the education. Education is the most important equalizer and liberator in any polity. Education is going further and further away from the captives. In other words, the knowledge gap, we are talking about a huge knowledge gap between Africa and the developed countries. But even within our own underdeveloped countries like Uganda, the knowledge gap between those who are privileged and ordinary people is going to be catastrophic if we don't really act with haste to ensure that we can have some improved knowledge delivery to the population. Because as she was saying, during the last 2 years, when everybody else was locked out of education, some people were getting education. Even during ordinary times, you have schools which don't really build any knowledge to talk of. And that's why, you know, 75% of children that go into primary one give up before P7 and say there is nothing to gain here and leave school. So there are urgent matters that require all of us, not political, because when we talk about opposition, people look at political parties, you know, FDC, DP, NUP, I don't know what. This is why I say this is misleading. It is everybody, whether you are in the media, whether you are in civil society, whether you are, all of us captives must think very fast how we get out of this captivity, must organize to ensure that we get out of this captivity as quickly as possible.